Okay, so we are now heading to a very dynamic part of the program, the pitches. We will have the first round of presenters. Each participant will have 3 minutes, and I'll be the one who will be watching the time and will be precise of saying 1 minute left. So, and then all the presenters will have a chance to inform about their organization and to present themselves. So we will be starting. I believe I have the first presenter on the line. Hervé?
Yes, Theodora. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hervé. The floor is yours. You have 3 minutes now.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, my name is Hervé Floch. I am currently director of the Alpha RLH cluster based near Bordeaux in France. And I am the president of the Europe Committee of the French Association of Competitiveness Clusters. So it's a real pleasure for me to introduce you to the Future UCLAS Association, so to be created, which will be in charge of delivering the EU labels about cluster management excellence, a scheme that is currently managed by the European Secretariat for Cluster Analysis. As a reminder, the European Commission, DG GROW in particular, launched in 2009 the European Cluster Excellence Initiative to raise the innovation, capacity and competitiveness of cluster participants by focusing on cluster management. This initiative has become a clear success story, and European cluster excellence labels, bronze, silver and gold, are now widely recognized as a credible European standard for cluster management. Then, within European Cluster Excellence Initiative, the phase 2 that was launched in 2017, the European Commission contracted with a German contractor to review the whole European labeling system, aiming at increased transparency and efficiency. As an exit strategy solution, the preparation of draft bylaws and assumptions about the possible business model or a dedicated new legal entity were subcontracted to EFPC in France. After 2 years of hard work implying representative of 25 organizations from 20 countries,
left.
this initiative resulted in a draft description of rules and bylaws of an international non-for-profit association under Belgium law. So the Constitutive General Assembly of this new UCLAS association that will enlarge welcoming other members and start operating by spring 2021. So we'll be in charge of the whole responsibility of this label topic. So thank you for your attention. Many thanks again to all the partners that contributed to this work and to the European Commission for its support and trust. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hervé. I'm really, I hope everyone who is interested will get in touch with you, and I'm also glad to be part of this initiative as well. So we are going to the next presenter, Santiago. You on the line?
Hello. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. You have 3 minutes, so please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Santiago Cuesta. I am the general manager of the Iberian Sustainable Mining Cluster, a national cluster located in Spain, who is trying to join all the activity in raw materials from the mining and extractive industry up to construction or health of the worker. Our cluster is very important in the just transition and the coal transition regions. We are trying to recover the territories. We are trying to create resilience in raw materials. Next slide, please. So raw materials are essential for all Europe, and this is where our cluster is working. Our cluster is aligned with the ERMA Alliance, the Strategic Alliance on Raw Materials, and the program of the European Commission on resilience of Europe and resilience of raw materials. Why? Because raw materials are creating a lot of jobs, direct 3.4 million jobs in Europe, and raw materials are essential for the green transition. If we want to have technology, we have to rely on raw materials, and raw materials are very important to be extracted and deal with in a sustainable way. That means promoting a clear new initiative of sustainable green mining, and also creating new technologies for recycling raw materials or to create industrial symbiosis between European value chains. Without raw materials, we cannot have electric cars, we cannot have batteries, we cannot have permanent magnets, we cannot have any kind of technology. And this is where our cluster is working with at the international level. Next slide, please. Our cluster is covering the full value chain for what? To solve the 10 top challenges that the raw materials and the mining industry need. We are working not only in the old way of understanding mining, we are working also in the new transition of the minerals. That means the sustainable green mining, that means creating post-closure programs, that means rehabilitation of soils, rehabilitation of mining spaces, and that means a transparent trading of minerals. And we are working on that at the international level. Next slide. Next slide. And how we are doing this, this is one of the examples on the left. We are trying to digitalize the industry. We are creating an international hub of raw materials for sustainable mining industry, and we are creating this in the context of the Smart Specialization Platform. We are co-creators of two Smart Specialization Platforms, the Advanced Materials for Batteries, where we coordinate the sustainable supply of raw materials, and the mining industry regions, where we are creating an international hub of sustainable raw materials resilience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Santiago. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We are supposed to have Giuseppe on the line, but he's having some technical problems, so I will go to the next presenter, Laura.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Laura. You have 3 minutes. I will tell you when you have 1 minute left and 30 seconds, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. Hi to everybody around Europe. I'm Laure Quintin, Head of European Affairs and Projects at Minalogic. And I'd be happy to present you our tools for digitalization. The objective here is to offer or to present what we are looking for, how we can bring this to EU level thanks to cluster cooperation, we hope. Next slide, just quick presentation of my cluster. We are an innovation cluster for digital technologies in France, around Lyon and Grenoble and Saint-Étienne cities. For us, digital means 4 strategic technological domains, everything around content and uses, software, micro nano electronics, and photonics. So we are running, next slide please, 2 main programs dedicated to digitalization. The first one is a technology transfer program created in 2012 that have a very strong track record of project support. So we supported around 250 projects. It's a project that was created with one of our major RTO, and it's supported by the region Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. They fund this program, and it's managed by Minalogic. So the objective is to help the integration of digital technologies in traditional SMEs that are not familiar with it. Yes, and the conditions are they can integrate digital technologies in cooperation with regional research organizations. And this is something we would like to offer to organize or to do at EU level, if we can involve reach other regions and other research organizations and engineering schools where we can collaborate on this. And the last one, very quickly, next slide, please,
30 seconds, yes.
is our European Digital Innovation Hub, Minasmart, that is currently under construction. We propose it to the French national selection, and we would like to discuss with other digital innovation hubs in preparation of the European call in 2021. So the last slides here have the contacts of my colleagues for every program, and I'd be happy to discuss in the conference with all of you. Please.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so now we continue with Roman. You're on the line.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So your 3 minutes. I will give you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, Theodora. Hi, I'm Roman Seidel, CEO from Deepmentation, which is Leipzig in Germany-based computer vision startup with strong expertise in automation processes in mostly e-health applications. Today I want to present, next slide please. Today I want to present a topic which is not a cluster yet, which is more topic, but this can become in the future, which applies state-of-the-art techniques from computer vision and image processing to serum samples to determine its turbidity. But first of all, why is this important? Why is this relevant? In a study of from a working group of pre-analytical phase of EFLM, it was shown that only 43 of the European laboratories are using methods to determine hemolytic, icteric, and lipemic. It's a kind of turbidity determination serum samples with an automatic approach. So this means this suggested process automation step is relevant and necessary to first to the lack of the qualified personnel, which is not always available in the laboratories, and in general to come to an increased efficiency in the laboratories, which is necessary to boost testing capacities, not only related to COVID-19, but it is also related to COVID-19. So state of the art. So how does this process work in the laboratories in Europe currently? Most of these approaches and techniques are measuring the absorption behavior of lipemic, icteric, and hemolytic samples. Most of the big manufacturers in Europe have implemented already continuous measuring units for ordinal scales, and they are measuring certain wavelengths. In our opinion, the solution. In our opinion, the solution to support small and mid-sized laboratories, you see the target market here on the slide, to treat centrifuged serum samples as a classification process in RGB images. So the goal of the work in general is to detect improperly treated samples to increase the efficiency of laboratories as early as possible. And for this, we are looking for partners for graphical user interfaces with expertise in apps or web interfaces. We are looking for laboratories, blood banks, or similar institutions. We are also looking for clinical and medical laboratories in Europe for proof of concept implementation. And in general, if you have some ideas for adapting the technology to other laboratory applications, please let us know. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to make a note to the audience that I was trying while listening to take some notes. So I believe you also have your notes with you, because this is not just a cluster organization, as you've seen, but we are presenting today and continue presenting some ideas, organization, and approaches. So I believe this is really important in order to make future contacts. So I hope we have Alicia on the line to continue with the next presentation.
Yes, hello. My name is Alicia Serewko. Yes, I'm a member of the Photonic Fiber Optic cluster. And I will try to put up my presentation here. 1 minute, okay. Okay. And the Photonics and Fiber Optic Cluster is a cluster of technological innovations created by experts in the field of photonic technologies who strongly believes in cooperation, of course. The cluster gathers both scientists and research and development business and startups, for example. We associate enterprises, research and development units and business environment institutions. We implement Polish innovate technological solutions. We organize joint exhibitions, pavilions at Polish and foreign trade fairs. We conduct workshops and demonstration for fiber optic technologies for industry. And we provide access to specialized human resources also. Entities making up the cluster, apart from the photonic industry, operate in many industrial sectors. As I said, it's including telecommunications, medicine, cosmetics, mining, oil and gas, constructions, space, and many other in the markets of Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, and the Americas. And what our activities are. We have application to the Digital Innovation Hub, for example. We also have a recruitment support. We join publications and media coverage of meetings with young people, scholars. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute.
And internships. We put a special emphasis on the fiber optics technologies due to Polish high implementation potential in this field. Our goal for next year is the intensification of activities in Poland, expansion of the cluster with new members, as well as networking for cluster members and provision of the events in the country. But we are open to international cooperation and networking. We are also willing to exchange with other experiences cluster, look for inspiration, promote, and provide insights of Polish photonics.
15 seconds.
Yes, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope we'll meet here with networking. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alicia. Okay, so for the next, our next speaker is Ulrika. Good afternoon. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ulrika. The floor is yours.
I would need my slides as well. I hope you have them. Oh, all right. I can't see myself on my screen, but anyhow. Good afternoon, anyhow. Dear cluster community, my name is Ulrika Hurt, and I represent and speak for the paperless logistics and digital supply networks in Europe. My organization and the cluster is Single Window Initiative Estonia, and I'm the research lead there. Next slide, please. Oh, yeah, this one is digitalization. Up, previous, please. Now I see the slides on the screen. So digitalization comes from doors and windows, from Industry 4.0, e-government, e-logistics. The regulations are there already. The technologies are coming. We all get to influence it, both in clusters or communities that we have. But the digitalization itself is not the target only. The wins are. The savings, the data quality, the efficiency, the productivity, predictability, visibility, transparency. All the wins, though, have a value, a counted monetary value that we all seek for. Next slide, please. So we call everyone. We have two lines of calls. So one call is we call everyone to joint research action and telling, sharing, explaining, disseminating what they have researched on what are the wins and gains of each stakeholder in the supply network, in logistics, in public sector, among customers, among associations, whatnot. How big are the savings for the
You have
individual
1 minute left.
and group participants? And last but not least, we raise the most critical question: who should pay for the digital logistics? If everyone wins, and if we can map how much everyone wins, and each and every participant wins, we also could then open a public discussion on who should pay, how much of it should be investments, support, or how much should be paid by individual, company, or participant by themselves. Next slide, please.
18 seconds.
So we call you to post your opinion and research with one or all of the hashtags on paperless logistics, who wins with paperless, and who pays for paperless. You can use LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You can tag yourself, your association, our cluster. And let's use this opportunity to jointly work as a cluster to bring down knowledge. And next year, when there is this COSME application round, or also separate to that, we call you to join us for
Thank you.
also
Thank you
the work on the topic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so we have on the line to continue with the next presenter, Daniela. Danielle, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. The floor is yours,
Hello,
Daniela.
nice to
Yes.
meet you.
You have 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody, to all on your remote meeting show. My name is Daniela Zavets. I'm a textile engineer and business developer who is co-creating the European textile ecosystem, where I'm combining the science and industry and cluster community through new open-minded thinking. Today, I'm representing the Textile Association of Slovenia, where I have prepared and worked on the textile sustainability wheel. Next slide. The idea I have created with one purpose in mind, and this is to bring together decision makers and experts in the complete supply chain of European textile ecosystem and make them aware that it's not only engineering which needs to be sustainable, but that the people are those who can make our business model sustainable. In the case of my textile wheel, I would like to point out the strongest elements, and this is sustainability market or sustainable market. So recently, we are really talking a lot about market for sustainable textiles, or based on my knowledge, we should move on, open our mind, and better discuss the sustainable textile-based business model, because the new business models in a sustainable way is the future. Next one, please. Approach, talking about the market for sustainable textiles. Companies of today are really actively trying to make sustainable textiles. They're forcing themselves and upgrading the production technologies, saving water, power consumption, changing raw materials for their product. Everything just to try to fulfill the sustainability. And please, I really would like to wake you up. We have to think as a society, as an ecosystem. And those people and Torture Group, I would like to motivate today with this textile sustainable wheel are really
1
coming
minute
from
left.
companies, from stakeholders, and from all other authorities who are creating European policies, who are responsible for also not only for sustainability, but also for the creative education of young generation. Next one, please. No matter in which area are you working, we have to talk about sustainability as a quality criteria. And yes, all together, we can spin the wheel now. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so going to the next presenter, Donatas.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Donatas Gendulas. I'm founder and CEO of Altitude Hold, an international aerospace startup with headquarters in Lithuania. For last years, we have been working on airlift concept. Next slide, please. It is an ensemble of disruptive technologies to address major gaps UAM industry is facing today, namely propulsion, noise, size limitations. Circle A illustrates our tactical last mile mobility platform, which can uniformly be used by first responders, emergency medical services, logistics industry, aviation sector as a whole, and defense actors. It can transport 4 people or 250 kilograms of payload for 1-hour missions. By replacing conventional propellers with much more efficient rotary wing technology depicted in Circle B, we have been able to demonstrate unprecedented performance improvements, resulting approximately in 50 times drop in manufacturing costs. So essentially 50 of such aircraft can be purchased for a cost of single helicopter. Then we are truly plug and play, independent of any infrastructure. Circle C illustrates that our aircraft fits into 20-foot marine container and can be transported on roads. It can be charged in conventional EV charging stations, as shown in Circle D. And because of the closed rotor architecture, it doesn't depend on any expensive skyports or vertiports. Therefore, it can land anywhere on streets, on rooftops, even on moving surface, such as terrain. Number of use cases is virtually limitless. We can really change the resilience of economy, transport, logistics in the face of this major pandemic, as well as during any kind of large disaster.
1 minute.
Next slide, please. We're building a research and supply innovation chain, so we seek to partner with agile and flexible composites manufacturers to scale up productions, look for intelligent navigation components, low delay, low cost pan-European communication networks in rural wild areas. We have a demand for beyond state-of-the-art mechatronics, and we would be willing to run pilots with aerial developers in defense, logistics, as well as emergency OEMs. Lastly, airlift is one of a kind. We seek 4 case studies with European think tank organizations researching urban air mobility as a whole. That's it. Thanks all for listening, and be safe.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that there will be approaches from few clusters that I know for sure that I will be interested to communicate. So let's see whether Brian is with us to continue with the presentation flow.
Yep.
Hello, good afternoon, Brian. The floor is yours.
I've so enjoyed seeing all the clusters that are involved here today. And I wanted to say that you can think about our AI assistant as a bus. We started by winning the EU versus virus hackathon, the largest hackathon in the world. And we built this for education, but you can use this for any sector. Please, next slide. So because of COVID, the lockdowns disrupted education, but it's disrupted all in industry. All kinds of issues are coming up as a result of COVID, and there's gaps in delivery. So many people have repetitive questions. For school, it's where do I find my homework? Where are my grades? But in aerospace, where is my project located right now? Where do I find that file on the hard drive? Which document was that? Next slide. So we're building an AI bot for education. You can see this cute little Yop at teamyop.com. We're a member of the EIC community. We're a European innovation company. Next slide. So our unique selling point is a tight integration for school networks. In this case, there's an important situation where you want security and you want your kids to be safe and have their private information secured. We do this by deploying on site. So that reduces the latency of the intelligent assistant so they can give quick responses. Google Assistant can't answer these personal questions. Where are my grades? Where's my next class? Siri can't answer these questions, but we can. Next slide, please.
You have 1 minute, Brian.
Here's all we've accomplished in the last 6 months since we started to build Yoke. We're doing compliance and business cases. We've got 4 schools that are interested to make this case. We've got a couple of research centers that are interested in participating. Next slide, please. We've got a team of 4, someone to help with security and data, a psychologist at a university in Valencia, and an art director that's doing our design work, and myself. I've got 10 years in actually as a licensed counselor. Next slide.
20 seconds.
So here's what we can do. We can provide an intelligent assistant, and we can do technical architecture. We can make your adoption campaign. We can do conversational design. We provide research support and security recommendations. And that's teamyope.com. If you need a bot that can help out your team, we're the guys to reach out to subcontract to do that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, so we are going now to Patrick. Good afternoon, Patrick. The floor is yours.
Theodora. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and very pleased to share among a topic we are pushing up with a partner in Europe today. And I'm Patrick Viermoz. I'm General Manager of Plastipolis, innovation cluster focusing on material technology in France and polymer and composites. And it has been said by Mr. Tokarski earlier today that there is a big challenge of digitalization and to combine green and digital transition in Europe, especially for SME. And this initiative is focusing on this particular issue. Next slide, please. Also, it is Mr. Breton, Commissioner Breton, mentioned that cluster or bridges between ecosystem, and this is really our mindset to promote connection between our own focus material technology together with our colleagues of manufacturing, digital technologies, and to encompass the value chain and to develop opportunities and for the cluster, of course, but all its ecosystem and SMEs, especially at the time of recovery and post-crisis, hopefully post-crisis period in Europe. And next slide, please. For this purpose, we have been developing a first group of partnership in Europe and combining material manufacturing and digital transformation. As you see, we are it's complementary partners in like DMEC in Finland, in Oulu, Fraunhofer IAO in Stuttgart, AFIL in Lombardia. So the purpose being to share our ecosystems, promote common action and joint project. We have a strong background for it.
1 minute left.
We would like really take opportunity of the conference to enlarge this network. Next slide, please. So please be so kind to come to us for joining our group. We are really focusing our effort within ECA, as Antonio Novo mentioned it today, cluster or let's say committed to put their effort to the recovery and post-COVID period. And this network aims to bring a solution in terms of digitalization, acceleration of transformation of companies, and taking benefit of the instrument of the Commission mentioned today, especially the forthcoming Digital Innovation Hub. That is a strong instrument to move, as already said also by Ilaria earlier, to move to subsidies to investment and to build common capacities for the benefit of companies and Europe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've heard that yes, we have on the line Giuseppe. So, Giuseppe, it's your turn after we manage to sort.
Okay.
Okay, welcome. You have 3 minutes, so please go on.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Giuseppe Rossi. I work for Green Home, is the pole of innovation for sustainable building. We are based in Calabria, south of Italy. I would like to present a project idea that was launched by a group of our companies and laboratories at local level, and we would like to get some to a European level for a more effective impact of the proposal. The idea is to treat demolition waste from adopting a circular economy point of view. Next slide, please. The point we have in our group of associated companies, some companies obviously dealing with construction activities, but also a few companies dealing with waste treatment. And the joint activity of these two kind of companies identified the problem of not being able of dealing with waste demolitions from waste from demolition activities, from construction and renovation activities in a proper way. Basically, such waste is not treated and not reused in an adequate way, giving rise to a number of environmental and also health problem and quite relevant costs. The idea that we are following is to identify, let's say, new areas of intervention where demolition waste can be reused appropriately.
1 minute.
And okay, and in our key issue is to we started from a very demanding test case, that is beach nourishment, using waste, demolition waste in coastal lines and applications. Actually, we are looking for other partners with a similar configuration, so R&D bodies, medium-sized companies, and possibly public administration with the access to a demonstration site, as we have in Calabria. Okay, to identify other areas, and next slide, for a live project in 2021. If you,
thank you so much.
If you can pass to the next slide, just to show the contact details.
Yes, of course, yes.
Okay, so expression of interest by December, and then a concept in the first months of 2021, and possibly a project in the middle of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome. You have 3 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I would like to present you the Smart Census for Agri-Food partnership. The aim of our partnership is to contribute to lower the barriers for agri-food companies to access and implement the newest technologies linked to digitalization in the sector. To do this, we have 3 objectives. First is setting up a platform between agri-food clusters and cluster organizations representing technology and digital solution providers, relevant RTOs and other related stakeholders. Secondly, establishing a network of living labs where the newest technologies can be demonstrated and tested. And thirdly, the stimulation of collaboration between clusters and RTOs to create a trust zone between the involved sectors, facilitating the exchange of know-how and accelerating the introduction of technologies. Our partnership today involves 14 regions. As physical backbone of a partnership, we are setting up a network of shared open access living labs where new Industry 4.0 related technologies can be demonstrated and tested. In the core of a living lab, key stakeholders in the digital innovation ecosystem come together. These are food processing companies, relevant RTOs, process technology providers, and digital solution providers. The living labs are surrounded in their regions by various other relevant stakeholders. It is important that living labs from different regions get connected with each other because competition and duplication within EU regions limit the development of critical scale that is needed. Via a COSME project consensus, the strategy of the partnership was completely developed. With the INISA project S3Food, SMEs get involved and supported in the development of innovative digital solutions. The project tackles 4 concrete challenges of the food processing industry. And via a 5-step process, companies are supported and guided towards funding on 4 thematic priorities. Innovation vouchers are made available for all relevant SMEs in the food sector, technology, ICT, and digital solution industries. Companies that have a project idea can apply for funding via 3 types of vouchers, being the exploration voucher, validation voucher, and application voucher. The type of the voucher is adapted to the TRL level of each company and their project idea. The second call for innovation project funding will be launched this December and has a budget of 1.3 million euros. All the relevant information of the project is published on the S3Food website, s3food.eu. We're eager to collaborate with you. So for further information, you can drop me a line at the chat of the conference website, or you can contact one of my colleagues, which contact details are at the bottom of my slide, but I see that's barely readable. We're looking forward to getting in contact with you. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to remind that today we are providing the platform to present ideas, organizations, projects, project ideas, and clusters. So stay on the line and let's hear Almudena, our next presenter. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, you hear us? Okay. So maybe we can go on the next one and try to reconnect a bit later. So is Enrico on the line? We are back. Okay. I'm giving you the floor. Hello, good afternoon, Almudena.
Hello, good afternoon. So, thank you for your introduction. If you ever heard of the potential benefits and the perfect logic around circular economy, you might be wondering why it hasn't become a reality yet. Well, in voucher, we've been reflecting about this and concluded that a systemic change is needed to accelerate a circular transformation of entire value chains. And this is how we work with this approach. voucher is a pan-European acceleration focused on circular economy, and the consortium behind it is composed by 3 industry partners, 3 funding and acceleration experts, and 6 regional innovation hubs, consisting of regional representatives and the clusters network linked to them. We have accelerated this far 12 circular solutions addressing the challenges we defined and 18 adopters cases that were inspired by those solutions or by the circular building blocks they used. voucher is funded by European Union, and thanks to that, we are distributing 4.2 million euros to support 66 SMEs in 5 verticals. This is manufacturing, textile, agri-food, blue growth, and health. We are supporting them through 2 types of acceleration programs, which is along one, circularity to help them implement technology for circular transformation, and circular value application, which is for the creation of business cases. These programs includes funding vouchers for technology implementation, the support of a designer in residence, and coaching from business mentors. Good news is that we've created a circular and design toolkit, including the elements of this program and also the lessons learned during our journey, and that this toolkit will be available free and publicly in our Circularity Open Space, which is an online community over 500 members interested in circular economy. You'll find there information about our programs, but also the possibility to connect and interact with other people interested in circular economy. The toolkit is addressed to regional bodies promoting circular economy, but we firmly believe that other organizations can also be interested, like clusters, DIHs offering technologies for transformation, accelerators focused on circular business models, or maybe corporates that want to create a circular value chain. Thank you. So if you're interested in the voucher on the outcomes of our project, you can contact me in the deal room. I'll be available from 16:30, and you can find more information about us in our online channels. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for presenting, and I hope there will be more connections on the time you've set for the next meetings. And now I would like to invite for our next speaker, Gupta.
Good afternoon, and I'm going to present in 3 minutes two partnerships. One is Extratex and the other one is Tex Global on two different COSME initiatives. Next, please. Extratex is a cross-border and cross-sector partnership. Actually, we have 6 partners which are trying to develop solutions to interconnect textile, plastic sector and automotive sector by new digital solutions or sustainable solutions. Tex Global is composed of 5 partners, which are clusters in Europe based on textile and clothing sector, aiming to go international to 3 different target countries. So as you can see, the cross-border and the cross-sector dimensions are very well targeted. Next, please. As regard Extratex, we have an exchange program which is based on the organization of exchanges, physical or virtual exchanges between SMEs and scaling up organizations from different sectors. And we are targeting plastic, textile, and automotive, but also other sectors if they can provide innovative solutions to the SMEs of these 3 sectors. We are aiming to organize 59 exchanges in total. And we are going to organize the first virtual exchange next January, and exact dates will be announced on the website of Extratex that you can find in this presentation. And the program will be also published on the website. The exchange is pre-organized and will be done having as host the Slovakian cluster about plastic. Tex Global instead is focused on the internationalizations, the organization of missions to international events and fairs in 3 target countries. Okay, for the 3 countries are USA, Vietnam, and Mexico. Next, please. Okay, I would like to invite you under the Extratex partnership to the next event, which is the Smart Manufacturing Making, which is going to take place from 18 to 20 November. It will be fully virtual, so you can easily participate without restrictions. We are going to arrange a webinar under Extratex, which is going to target the innovative solutions in plastic, automotive, and textile sectors with relevant speakers from the regions of the project. And it's going to be on the 18th of November at 11 a.m. So you can go to SMM 2020 website and subscribe to the webinar or to the matchmaking, because beyond webinar, we also have matchmaking, virtual missions, and virtual investments. Okay. Instead, Tex Global missions, because Tex Global has recently started, will be most probably in here to 2021.
You have 5
according
seconds to close.
Okay, so you will be informed about the missions on Text Global ECC page. Thank you very much for your attention. For any doubt or question, you can write me at the email that you find at the bottom of the slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Enrico. Thank you. And again, I made a small mistake, but I would like now for a second time to invite Gupta to join us. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Gupta Odata. I work as Director at Oslo Cancer Cluster, and now I will briefly talk about DigiBCube project. This is an InnoSoft project where we offer different digitalization and innovation services, and we also have a funding pot where we can award vouchers to the SMEs. So this project is focusing on supporting SMEs that want to integrate digital innovations or ICT technologies in health and medical value chains. Next slide, please. So this is the schedule of the open call. We have 2 major deadlines. The first deadline was in July 2020, and we have awarded already 43 SMEs for different types of vouchers. And there is a second deadline on February 2021. And the evaluation will occur within 4 weeks, and you will receive the results in March about the funding. So as you can see on the small diagram on the left side, there are 4 different vouchers: travel vouchers, prototyping vouchers, innovation voucher, and disruption lab vouchers. Each SME can get a maximum of 60,000 euros. Next slide, please. So the travel vouchers we normally award to attend workshops or the matchmaking events that the project organizes. So SMEs can apply and get the voucher up to 2,000 euros to attend these events. And then for the prototyping vouchers, if you have a feasibility study or if you want to test some solution or tackle a digitalization challenge, you can apply for prototyping voucher. 2 or 3 SMEs can together apply for this voucher. And you have a customized solution innovation voucher. If you want to test a proof of concept or implement already an existing technology or broaden it, you can apply for this kind of voucher. Here, SMEs together with hospitals or large companies can apply, but only SMEs can receive the funding. Left. And then you have the 4th type of voucher, which is a disruption lab voucher, where you can use that money to go to another cluster or another company and spend some time and also look at the business models, etc. Next slide, please. So here you can see the different value chains that the open call will cover. It can be anywhere from biorobotics, smart health, precision medicine, smart care, mHealth, etc. But the core theme should be related to diagnostics, treatment, and also preventive medicine. So you can also find the contact email info@digibcube.eu. If you have any questions, you can write to that email. And you have also the website, and we are also active on social media. Here you can also see the 9 consortium partners that are located across Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. And I can see for the presenters right now, we have we've seen projects, we have seen partnerships, and we've seen open calls, current open calls. So I'm curious to hear what Daniel will be presenting us. Daniel? Good afternoon. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. My name is Daniel Pavlica, here on behalf of the BlockIS project that strives to catalyze blockchain innovation. Next slide, please. Briefly, BlockIS is an EU-funded cluster-facilitated acceleration program that aims to build an open and collaborative cross-border, cross-sectoral innovation ecosystem that fosters the use of blockchain technology in 3 vital sectors for the European economy that are agri-food, logistics, and finance. We did as well have an acceleration program that supported, actually still supports SMEs and startups from the ITC sector, all the way from their idea to the commercialization step of their startup. And we also offer them tailored business and technical support as well as direct funding. and to help them build their enterprises, we offer 2.8 million of total funding through 2 open calls. Unfortunately, for the ones that got interested right now, both open calls have been finalized, and we have selected top 90 European blockchain startups. Currently, we are at the end of the first phase, and we have selected top 10 out of those 45 from the first batch. And next slide, please. And also the consortium has well-defined stakeholders, and currently we would like to engage more investors and corporates in the game and to have them on board, as well as, of course, clusters and SMEs to enrich and amplify the innovative ecosystem. Next slide, please. When it comes to what do we offer to investors and corporates and clusters and tech SMEs at this point, thank you. And for investors, we invite them to join the final stage demo day that will happen on November 24. They will have an access to blockchain investment opportunities that are pre-vetted by our network and industry experts. And for clusters and tech SMEs, we encourage them to participate in cluster mission events in order for them to learn what is required to boost innovation, also to find available resources, connect and build relationships, and also expand their networks. Today we had a quite successful cluster mission that was exploring Berlin's blockchain ecosystem, and it was facilitated by Regensburg's IT logistic cluster. And we also invite you to stay in touch with us on blockis.eu and our social media for future open calls that we will have to support blockchain innovation within Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. And the last presenter, I would like to invite Uwe on the stage. Good afternoon, Uwe.
Good afternoon. Hello to everybody. My name is Uwe Pfeil. I'm the manager of the cluster IT logistics, as Pavel already mentioned some seconds ago, and I'm also cluster manager of the mobility cluster. I hope you all have a good first conference day today. And I'd like to give you really a brief introduction to our R&D network, High to Zero. It's a hydrogen-based network. Mobility needs hydrogen. Next slide, please. So first of all, what is it? It's a R&D network. It's a network out of the e-mobility cluster. And the aim of the network is to develop new hydrogen-based technologies for mobility applications along an energy chain for climate neutral mobility. For this, we have 3 major areas for R&D projects. The line 1, it's about technologies for production of fuel cells. The line 2, it's about system components like power electronics. And the line 3, these are technologies how you can produce hydrogen on an on-site production plant. So all these R&D lines are hopefully full with R&D projects in the near future, and we'd like to develop new common R&D projects. Next slide, please. So here you can see the companies and the research institutions already joined the network. It's about 25 companies and institutions. Next slide, please. And what are we looking for? We are looking primarily for 2 types of partners. Partners with technology expertise who can support us in those R&D lines, and partners who can be application partners for R&D projects. Very brief, very short. That was my introduction to the project. And on the next slide, you can see my contact details. Feel free to contact me by mail, per telephone, or by chat. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. I really hope that this dialogue will continue, and please be active, connect and see, because this is basically the main to open the doors for future cooperation and collaboration.